Hey, I have a question for you guys. What if you were a robot and you didn't know it, but everyone around you did? Hmm. Hmm. And just like that, my mind started to ponder on this idea. And I said to myself, hey, why don't we make this a short animated film? And a short animated film is coming from this idea. And I'm bringing you on this journey with me. For those of you who don't know me, literally everyone, my name is Taku, and I'm an aspiring writer and director. And today I've been given a vision to bring a new project to life. How did I come up with this idea? Well, it emerged from my voyage of sailing alone on land. To put it in simple terms, my journey of being isolated and feeling lonely made me question on why this is so. And I started to come up with reasons. Now, one of the reasons I came up with for being on this journey of isolation and loneliness was actually a question. And that question was, what if I was a robot and I didn't know it, but everyone else did? Would you ever want to form an intimate relationship with a robot? Or is it just an object to you? Perhaps you only need it to perform certain tasks at a given time and then dispose of it when you no longer need it. Or perhaps keep it close enough to you so that it is accessible to you whenever you need it physically, but keep it away from you emotionally. This story is told from the perspective of the robot. Me as a robot? I guess me is a robot. To put it simply, me, robot. And this is how I came up with the title of this short animated experimental film. Me, robot. In terms of tonality, I'm going to try and make this animation more bright using lively voiceovers. Yes, this animation is going to have a voiceover, unlike the previous one, Solitary Confinement. And yeah, I'm going to improve the walk cycle of animations because on that last animation, I don't know what that walk cycle was, man. I did it, but I don't know what that was, man. You all saw it if you did. And perhaps I'll add happy music. We'll see. We'll see. It's still in development. It's going to be a light project on the surface, but for those of you who can decipher, it's going to be a little bit dark. Why is it dark? Well, let's substitute the word dark for deep. See, it's a deep story because it talks about isolation as an adult and how this makes someone feel like they're not human or human enough. If you've ever been isolated from society, you would know. You would know how that feels and you'd know what I'm talking about. Anyways, continuing on the perspective, we as the audience know that he and or it is not a human being, but it doesn't know that it's not a human being. I mean, if a robot was programmed to think that it's human, would it ever have the knowledge that it's not human, or would it always contemplate whether it's human or not? It could go down on a rabbit hole thought process on whether it's a human being or not, and eventually be in constant conflict on what it is here on Earth. So that's what this robot goes through, and it takes extreme measures to find out what it is. So my first step in bringing this project to life is not a script, but an outline. I've already finished writing the outline for this story from start to finish. Basically, to me, an outline is me opening Word on Google Docs and writing my ideas in paragraph forms from start to finish with introduction, middle, climax, and the end. To me, that's what an outline looks like. And of course, this is different for everybody, but just having an outline of your story is important. It's important because it's the roughest state of your story before you start writing a script. While writing a script, it sort of helps you see where there are plot points that need improvement. And of course, we always have to revise our script, but having an outline, it really makes that process of starting to write smooth. Because if you've ever wanted to write a story on a script, you know, sometimes it gets really difficult just to start, or it can get overwhelming, you know? So within the outline, let me give you a little bit of a rundown for the story. The story starts in a laboratory. Mad scientists are making this robot, and it goes on. 18 years later, this robot is manufactured Oh, wait, sorry, I skipped a part. They go on a conference, and this is where everybody finds out that this thing is a robot, but it's a humanoid. It thinks it's a human, but it's not. And from the conference, the scientists are like, hey, we have made this next human evolution technology, and you should all know it and should interact with it. And the crowd goes, yay, they're so happy. This is not in our world, it's in a fantasy world, because in our world people wouldn't be happy about this like that. So anyways, 18 years later, just so we know that this thing has been in the world for as long as it is, and it still doesn't know what it is. So we cut to the next scene where this thing is interacting with a girl. The girl is breaking up with it or him, and it doesn't understand. The girl's like, hey, I need somebody I can connect with on a more human level. And he's like, I don't understand, but we were good together, we're perfect together. And she just walks away, and she's like, it's over. And then the next scene is like, now he's in his head is like, what is going on? Why does no one want me? Why am I so lonely? This is insane. And obviously it goes on a downward spiral. We're not going to see all that. This is animation, experimental. Once that's done, he goes on, he's sitting alone. His brother Jacob comes and he's like, hey bro, what's going on? And he's like, hey, she broke up with me, I don't know why. And then it's like, wait, have you ever heard about the Dead Tower? Yeah. Oh yeah, the Dead Tower. It's a technological tower which doesn't have electricity. And he's like, I heard that, anything with a power source can power it up. So he is a humanoid. He has life force because he thinks he's a human, but obviously as a humanoid, he has power source. And he was like, wait, if I'm not a human, I can power that up. And if I cannot, I can prove to Nancy and everybody that I'm human, and they can start accepting me in society, treating me like a normal human being. And so he convinces his brother. They go to the Dead Tower. His brother's like a distance away from him, and his brother's like talking to the scientist, so we know his brother is affiliated. And his brother's like, shut it down now, it's gone insane. And then it's gone insane, meaning the protagonist, his name is Adam, in case I haven't mentioned that. And so Adam, boom, connects himself to the Dead Tower, and the Dead Tower becomes alive, and it starts lighting up, and the screen goes blank, and the title card comes up, Me, Robot. The end. That's our short animated film. I don't know whether everybody's gonna like it, but sure. And that's about it. In the next video, I'll be writing my script from start to finish, from my outline, so stay tuned for that. With that being said, thank you so much for taking your time in watching this video, and remember, it only gets better from here. See you next time.